Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today I want to talk about something that I think a lot of people conflate, but that are actually very different things. Saving money and building wealth, because you can do one without the other. And understanding the difference is honestly one of the most important financial concepts you can grasp. Here's what I mean. If you save 10% of your income every year and just put it in a regular savings account, you will accumulate money over time. That's real and that matters. But if you take that same 10% and invest it, put it to work in accounts that earn compound interest and dividends, something fundamentally different happens. Your money starts making money. And eventually, your money makes more in a year than you're contributing. That's the moment you start building actual wealth rather than just accumulating savings. Today, I'm walking you through 5 steps to start building wealth: how to set it up, how to think about it, and how to make steady progress regardless of your starting point. Let's get into it. But first, let me show you a number that I think illustrates the difference between saving and investing better than anything else. If you save $50 a month for 30 years, you will have $18,000. That's it, just the money you put in. Now take that same $50 a month and invest it at a 5% average annual return through compound interest. After 30 years, you have over $39,000. Same $50 a month, same 30 years, over $21,000 more, just from letting compound interest work. And that's at 5% with only $50 a month. Scale that up to the 7% historical average of the stock market and higher monthly contributions, and the numbers become genuinely life-changing. That extra money, the money your money made, is wealth, not income you earned, not savings you accumulated through discipline. Wealth your money built for you while you were living your life. That's why the distinction between saving and investing matters so much. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Step 1. Set clear goals for what you're actually building toward. Here's something that surprises people. The goal you're working toward should actually influence how you invest. And without a clear goal, you end up with a vague strategy that doesn't match your actual situation. So before anything else, get specific about what building wealth means for you. Is it financial independence, having enough invested that you could live off the returns and no longer need to work? A comfortable retirement at a traditional age? Early retirement? Starting a business, building a safety net that reduces financial anxiety, generating passive income each month? Each of these goals has different implications for how long you have to invest, how much you need to accumulate, how aggressively you should invest, and what types of accounts and investments make the most sense. A 25-year-old building toward retirement at 65 has 40 years for their investments to compound. They can take on more risk because they have decades to recover from any market downturns. Someone 10 years from retirement needs a very different approach. The goal determines the strategy. Get clear on the goal first. At the same time, and this is important, you still need a separate accessible savings component alongside your wealth-building investments. An emergency fund that covers 3 to 6 months of expenses. Money for near-term planned expenses. These should be in liquid, accessible accounts, not tied up in investments. Because if you need money in an emergency and you're forced to sell investments at the wrong time, you can lock in losses and derail your wealth-building progress. The accessible savings and the long-term investments serve completely different purposes, and both are necessary. Step 2. Start with a high-yield savings account while you build your initial investment capital. Most investment accounts have minimum initial investment requirements. Index funds, mutual funds, and many brokerage accounts often require anywhere from $1,000 to $3,000 to get started. So if you're starting from zero, there's a runway of saving before you can begin investing. During that runway, every dollar should be in a high-yield savings account earning as much interest as possible rather than sitting in a standard account earning essentially nothing. Online banks currently offer 4 to 5% APY on high-yield savings accounts. That's 10 times or more what most traditional banks pay. On $3,000 building toward your initial investment, that difference adds up meaningfully, and you're already experiencing a small version of what compound interest does. Beyond high-yield savings, you can also consider certificates of deposit, CDs, for money you're sure you won't need for a fixed period. A 6-month or 12-month CD locks in a guaranteed rate that's often slightly higher than a savings account. Just make sure the maturity date aligns with when you'll need the money for your initial investment. The goal at this stage is to make every dollar work as hard as possible while you build the capital to start investing. Step 3. Learn enough about investing to make confident decisions. I want to be honest about something. The investing world can feel intimidating, and that intimidation is one of the primary reasons people delay getting started. There are hundreds of different investment options. Financial jargon is everywhere. Markets go up and down in ways that feel unpredictable, and the fear of making the wrong choice can lead to making no choice at all, in which is actually the worst choice available. Here's the good news. You don't need to become an expert. You need to understand enough to get started with a simple strategy and not panic when markets inevitably fluctuate. The most important concepts to understand are these: diversification, spreading your investments across many different companies and sectors so no single failure significantly damages your overall portfolio. Index funds and mutual funds are the most straightforward way to achieve diversification because a single fund can hold positions in hundreds of companies at once. When evaluating mutual funds or index funds, look for four things: a reasonable track record of performance over several years, low management fees because fees compound just like returns do, and high fees meaningfully reduce your long-term wealth. Management that is transparent and trustworthy, and a history of positive performance over time. Tax advantages matter too. Retirement accounts like 401ks and Roth IRAs offer significant tax benefits that compound over time. Certain bonds offer tax exemptions. Understanding the tax efficiency of different account types is one of the highest leverage things you can learn about investing because taxes are one of the largest drains on investment returns over a lifetime. And critically, pay off high-interest debt before you start investing seriously outside of retirement accounts. If you're paying 20% interest on credit card debt while earning 7% in the market, you are losing ground. Eliminating high-interest debt is the highest guaranteed return available to most people and should come first. Step 4, make steady, consistent progress every single month. This is where wealth building either happens or it doesn't. And the principle here is consistency over intensity. A lot of people wait until they have a large amount to invest and then invest in one big lump sum. The problem with this approach is timing risk. If you invest a large amount right before a market downturn, you've concentrated all your buying at a high point. The better approach is regular, smaller contributions made consistently over time, regardless of what the market is doing. This is dollar cost averaging. When the market is high, your regular contribution buys fewer shares. When the market is down, your regular contribution buys more shares. Over time, your average cost per share smooths out, and you naturally buy more when prices are lower. It removes the timing pressure and the emotional decision-making that causes most investors to underperform. The automation point cannot be overstated here. Set up automatic transfers from your checking account to your investment accounts on the same day you get paid. Make it invisible and non-optional. The people who build meaningful wealth over time are almost universally the people who automate their investment contributions so the behavior happens regardless of their mood, their discipline level, or what the market is doing on any given day. And step 5, work with a financial planner at the right stages of your journey. This isn't about needing hand-holding for basic investment decisions. A good financial planner adds the most value at specific inflection points. When your financial situation becomes more complex, when the stakes get higher, or when major life transitions require a strategic rethink. Early in your wealth-building journey, the basics are straightforward enough to handle independently. Automate contributions, invest in diversified low-cost index funds, stay the course through market fluctuations. But as your wealth grows and your situation evolves, a financial planner can help you optimize tax strategies, plan for major transitions like early retirement, navigate significant life changes like a business, inheritance, or family additions, and make sure your investment allocation still matches your timeline and risk tolerance as both of those evolve. The key is choosing the right type of advisor. A fee-only fiduciary financial planner is legally required to act in your best interest rather than earning commissions from products they recommend. That distinction matters enormously, and it's worth seeking out specifically. Robo-advisors are also worth knowing about, especially for earlier wealth-building stages. They offer automated portfolio management at very low cost and are a solid option for people who want professional-grade diversification and rebalancing without the minimum investment requirements or cost of a traditional advisor. All right, let's land this. 5 steps. Set clear goals that shape your investment strategy. Start with high yield savings while building your initial investment capital. Learn the fundamentals, diversification, index funds, tax advantages, and why high interest debt comes first. Make steady, consistent, automated monthly contributions using dollar cost averaging. And work with a financial planner at the inflection points where professional guidance delivers the most value. Here's the core message I want you to take from this video. The difference between saving money and building wealth is not how much you make. It's whether your money is working for you or just sitting still. Compound interest turns small, consistent investments into significant wealth over time, but it only works if you start and if you stay consistent. The best financial environment you grew up in doesn't determine your outcome. The decisions you make from today forward do. And those decisions are entirely yours to make. Start where you are. Open a high-yield savings account if you don't have one. Learn enough to pick a simple index fund strategy. Automate a monthly contribution even if it's small. And give compound interest the time it needs to work. If this was helpful, drop a like and subscribe. Personal finance videos every single week. And tell me in the comments, are you currently in the saving stage, the investing stage, or somewhere in between? I genuinely love to know. I read every comment. I'll see you in the next one.